Hey, what's going on, beautiful Jellyfish? It's Tracy. Thanks so much for taking a little bit of time out of your day to hang out with me, and yeah, I really appreciate it. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about my 2021 Magic Wishlist, and kind of what I decided to do is, what I filmed my, which I'll list in the down bar below, my video on how I purchase cards, and basically just to kind of give you like a really quick general overview, is I do this by like price point, and so basically like right now I'm in the like 15 and under, and then I get all the cards on my wish list that are like 15 and under, and then when I do that I'll move up to like 15 to 20, and like if that makes sense. I don't know why this makes sense to me. I think what it is my wish list right now is sitting at 5 pages, which is insane. Keep in mind I do have 10 or 11 commander decks, which is pretty insane, and I love foil magic cards, so if I don't mention everything is foil, basically that's just like the jam and whatnot. But basically, yeah, I just wanted to do this video to talk about what I'd like to get. I've done this video for, I think this is my third one that I filmed. I filmed one last year, and I think I filmed one the year before that. And basically I just go through and look at like what cards I want to get and just share with you guys. It's just super fun for me. I really like this, filming this video. It's super fun. And this is my upcoming one for that. So I would say, just as kind of like an overview of my wish list, is the my ultimate thing is I really want to knock this down. So let's hop into it. Let's first start by talking about my general wish list. And this is kind of like cards that I want to get for basically a lot of my decks, and actually many of them are from Commander Legends. The first is the Arcane Signet, the Extended Border. I need, I put on my list, I need 3 of these. I need it for Riku, I need it for Alila, and Ladies. And that's currently like all I need, I would say, for it. I actually own, I want to say 2. Just like, but this was before the Extended Border came out. I think I own 2 right now, which is great. So I'm definitely in need of like at least 1 to just have one. And I love the Extended Border, and I want the Extended Border foil in this. And then in a similar vein, I do want the Command Tower. I put that I need 8 of these because I do have 2 monocolor decks. So I don't need them in my monocolor decks because that just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So I do need 8 of those, the Extended Art foil. And I do want 10 of the Extended Border Soul Rings. This was actually my favorite art. I know there's like a bunch of Soul Ring art. This one's actually my favorite, aside from the Expedition or the Masterpiece, but that one's like $600 or so. And Homegirl doesn't have math. Okay, 10 times 600 is that 600,000? No, I mathed that so wrong. Math. I teach 2nd grade math. Okay, I can't do this in my head. Okay, I should. But anyways, I need a bunch of those soul rings, and I don't have all that money to lay around for that. But I do really enjoy this art, the purple art, and I love the Extended Border. So those are kind of just like general, like I need multiple copies of them, so I just kind of put it in like a general sort of thing. So I'll slowly like chip away at that. My thought process is probably like, every time I place an order, I'll probably order like at least 1 of those because they're just like on the higher end. Like I said, right now I think I'm still working on like 10 or under, and then yeah, a lot of the stuff that I'll mention will be around there. So let's hop into like the different commander decks. And honestly, I think a really good first place to start is with the love of my life, Tasigur. So okay, if you've been following me for probably any amount of time, I always mention my Tasigur commander deck because it is the #1 commander deck on, like, it's the #1 deck. Like I have the least amount of foils to still acquire for that deck. It's my baby. It's definitely like I want to get it all foiled, and when I get it all foiled, I'll just feel super accomplished, and it'll be beautiful. So basically, I actually don't have many cards left on my wish list, which is really exciting. One of the cards that I do want to get is the Inditha. I feel like I said that wrong with the Triumph Land. I really want to get that because honestly, I feel like my mana base is actually really solid in that deck, and I'm actually like I love the way that commander deck works with the mana base, but I do really want to get the Triumph Land because it's just super great. And kind of in a similar vein, I do want to get all 3 of the Shock Lands. I actually don't want to get the Expeditions of these. I might change my mind on this because I actually have 2 out of 3 Expeditions for the fetch lands because Paul got them for me as a gift. I would not spend $230 on a Magic card for myself. I would spend it on him, but I would not spend that kind of money on myself. So he got those for me as a gift. So I wonder if I should just do the whole theme and just do those as the Expeditions, but I don't know if that's like weird. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think if you feel like mix and matching is okay. So anyways, those are, I want to get those, and they're all under like the $30 price range or whatever. So those would be really great for me to get. Another card I'd really love to pick up this year for Tasigur, like yeah, this year, 2021, is the Sorin Markov. Sorin Markov's been on my wish list for a very long time because it's just like one of those cards that I've just run, and it's just always been like a little bit more expensive, but I'd really love to get it. And all the cards that I want for Tasigur are just like on the more like at least $20, so kind of not really there yet, but I do really want to get Sorin Markov. And honestly, that's kind of it. Everything else for Tasigur is like pretty expensive, so, but it's really exciting because there's just like not a lot of cards left, which I really love. So let's hop into a different deck. Okay, let's talk about Alila. Alila is so interesting to me because Alila is the most recent commander deck that I built other than Riku, and I feel like it's such a good deck. Like, it's honestly, like, when I think about, like, my top 3 commander decks, and in terms of power level, it's Tasigur, Angels, and Omnath. And Alila, like, honestly, just probably 4th in my opinion. It's a really good deck. It's very consistent. I play artifacts, I play enchantments, and then I just make fairy tokens, and I buff my fairy tokens. So I'll have, like, 4/4/4s out, and it's, like, very hard to deal with, or I'll have like 4/4/5s, and it's just, they're very hard to deal with, and they just kill people very quickly, and they have evasion and flying, and Alila's just so good for me, and I feel like I bought a lot of that deck outright, so I actually have quite a bit of foils in there, and there are a couple of things that I love to pick up this year. The first is a Sour of Temptation foil. You know what? I'm just gonna be real with you guys. Lorwyn is my favorite Magic set, and I feel like for a minute I was like, oh my gosh, I really want to get like the one from Lorwyn because it's my favorite set, but it's more expensive, which I totally get. And then I just kind of like got over myself, and I was like, Tracy, just buy the one that's cheaper. Like, it's fine. Like, we all know Lorwyn's your favorite set. Like, it's okay, girl. So basically, I do want to pick that up. And the other one card I want to get for there is a Reliquary Tower. The League promo is actually my favorite art. I really enjoy this art a lot. I also want to get the Path to Exile. The Magic Fest promo foil is my absolute favorite. This art is truthfully one of the most breathtaking ones, and if you've never seen one in person, you need to in foil. It is honestly the most stunning thing you'll ever see in your life. So, yeah. And the last card I'd love to pick up this year for Alila is an Isolated Chapel. I really want to get the Innistrad foil. It's my favorite art. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I think these are called the Buddy Lands. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I absolutely love it. So, yeah. Okay, let's talk about Omnath. Omnath is kind of at this weird, I would say this really weird point, because I do have quite a bit of foils for Omnath. I mean, I have like quite a bit of foils in all my decks, but Omnath is interesting because I feel like a lot of the cards that I would like to pick up for Omnath are fairly expensive, where it's kind of come to the point where even though my list of cards is bigger for Omnath, like I probably need, in Tasigur foil, I probably need like 20 cards. Omnath, I probably need like double that, like 40 cards, but like a lot of them are kind of expensive. So I don't actually have many that I'd like to pick up this year because they are on the more pricey side. I do really want to pick up this year the Explosive Vegetation, the Onslaught foil. Onslaught foils are my absolute favorite. They, in my opinion, are some of the most beautiful foils. I really would love to pick this up. I know that this is not the cheapest like art. Like if you want to get a foil Explosive Vegetation, it's not that expensive. This one is, just because of the nature of the art. However, I don't care. It's Onslaught. I need it. I also do actually really enjoy the art as well. And the other card that I love to pick up is a Stomping Ground foil. Not the Expedition, just the plain old Ravnica Allegiance one. It's actually my favorite art, so I'd like to pick that up. Okay, we've talked about those. Merfolk I'm kind of putting at a little bit of like a standstill. I would say like that deck I'm not really buying foils for, and there's no like particular reason. It's just not a deck I reach for all the time. I just feel like I'm prioritizing other things, so I don't really have anything for Merfolk. Same with what's the other deck? Same with Mugus, and same with Riku. Those are 3 that I'm just not really prioritizing right now. That's not to say that I won't buy cards for them, but just not prioritizing it right now. So Angels, however, is kind of a little bit of a different story. So I love Angels. It's so fun for me. And it's kind of at a similar point that I would say Omnath is at, where I probably need about 30 cards or so in foil left to like finish off that deck. But a lot of them are on like the pricier side. But the ones that I'd really love to pick up this year, the first one is the Tectonic Edge, and I just kind of put foil on this. I don't remember off the top of my head. There'll be a picture of which one I actually want. I don't think it's the Expedition. I don't actually know, which sounds kind of wild, because like normally like Expeditions are great, but I feel like I don't remember off the top of my head, but I would like to pick that card up in foil because I do have that card. I just like to get it in foil, of course. And then I really want to get a Vanquisher's Banner, the time-stamped promo, because I love this card. and I just really like to pick that up in Timestamped. And the last card that I'd like to get this year for Angels is a Chroma Vision of Isidore, the foil etched from Commander Legends. As soon as I saw this card, I was immediately like, I need to find a slot for this card, and I need to put it in my Commander deck. So, yeah, that's that. Let's talk about Zombies for a minute. Zombies is interesting because I bought actually a decent amount of that deck outright, kind of similar to Alila. So a lot of the cards I bought were just foil. So I actually don't have a huge wish list for Zombies, which is actually really cool. One card I would very much love to pick up this year is Diagraph Colossus. This card's honestly amazing. I really like it. I actually think I had traded for this card, so I don't think that's why I got it in foil, because the foil's not very expensive. It's like $6. I need to pick it up. Another one is Gravecrawler. I really want to get the Buy a Box promo. When I got this card, didn't know that there was a Buy a Box promo, and I actually love it. I really like the art, so I want to pick that up. This card's very inexpensive. I just need to get it, which is Lightning Greaves. I just want to get a foil, the one from Double Masters. Just the regular one, not the extended border. I don't think... Yeah, the extended border has different art, and I don't really care for it. I just kind of like the OG art. It's not very expensive, the one I want. It's like $3, so... and also, I mentioned this earlier, but a Reliquary Tower, the League promo for that. I'd also like to get a Terramorphic Expanse foil, because I realized that I actually I don't have a Terramorphic Expanse foil in this deck. Like, I have it in like all my others, but as I was looking through, I was like, I don't have this in foil. I need to get it. It's like cents, so that's on my wish list to pick up. Let's talk about ladies. I actually just recently went through the deck and pulled out cards that I was like, I didn't have on this list that I wanted to pick up, so I actually put that down. The first one I'd love to get is a Chromatic Lantern foil, because when this card got reprinted, I don't remember what it was reprinted in. Was it Return to Ravnica, I think? The foil went significantly down, and it's like about $10 or so, around there. So I would love to pick this up in foil, because I think I have like 2 others, but I'd love to pick that up. I also put on there Intangible Virtue, because I realized I was going a lot more in the route of token gen, and I really wanted to get another... I don't have Intangible Virtue in there, but I'd love to get one, just so that I'm able to cast my things more, so... to buff my tokens. Sorry, that's what I'm trying to say. I also threw some signets on there, specifically the Golgari and the Gruul signet, because they're not very expensive. And I also put, again, Lightning Greaves. I also put on there the Path to Exile, the Magic Fest promo, the same art that I want in Leela, because I love this art. It's also got a lady on it, so it's like perfect, which is great. I love when like things do that. It's like so great, and it works out like that. I also want to get a Chroma's Vengeance, the Onslaught foil. I have the Onslaught foil in Angels, and it is truthfully absolutely stunning. Like, I know this art is not the newest art, and I do actually like the other art on this card, but I love, like, the purple in it just gets me, and it's an Onslaught foil, like, come on. So, and the last card for ladies is Pestermite, which I'd love to get in foil, because I do actually have the Infinite combo in there, which is interesting because I actually don't run Infinite combos very frequently. I think that I have it in that deck, and I have Infinite combos in Riku, but that deck is just really silly. And then I also have an Infinite combo in Zombies, but that's it. Oh, and Teysa. I guess 4 out of my 10 commander decks. Here I am being like, I don't avidly go out of my way to combo, like, if that makes sense. Okay. The last deck that I'd like to talk about is Teysa. So Teysa actually went through a revamp, which I might have talked about in a Commander updates video. I can't remember. But I basically went through, and I pretty much, the way that I revamped Teysa is I basically went through and I put in cards that, like, when it dies, you get a token, because with Teysa, you get double tokens, and it's actually been working out fairly well. I played, like, 1 game against Paul, and it worked a lot smoother, and the CMC dropped as well, which was really cool, so I basically went through a revamp. I just repeated myself. I might also put in cards like Lingering Souls that just kind of, like, make tokens. I was just trying to maximize, like, Teysa, basically. But anyways, being that I was doing a revamp, I was getting, like, I had gotten a bunch of new cards for Teysa. Like, I think I ended up like exchanging about like 15 or 20 cards, which is a pretty big chunk of the deck. Considering also too that you run like 35 lands, so it's a pretty significant chunk of the deck changed. And I picked up a bunch of cards, but there's just a couple more that I want to get. The first is Zulaport Cutthroat. I just put the foil on here. I don't know off the top of my head if I want the extended border, I think that's in the secret lair, or just the regular one, but Zulaport Cutthroat is a great card. I know it doesn't fit into like fully the theme of like when it dies, but it just, well, it does fit in the when it dies, but it's not like when it dies you make a token, but the loss of life is just so good. I need to put it in this deck. Another card that I really like to pick up is Orzhov Enforcer, which is great, and very similarly is Hunted Witness. These cards are very similar. They do pretty much the same thing, but again, that's the theme of the deck. And very similarly, a Requiem Angel. I don't know why it's hard for me to say. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't this card get like a new art, or am I thinking of something else? I feel like sometimes, no, for some reason I thought that this card got like a different art or whatever, but it's only ever been printed 2 times. It's very cheap foil. It's kind of a lot of mana, but I feel like the CMC is like so much lower in the deck, so I feel like I can get away with it. So anyways, and also too, the last card that I want to talk about and that I love to get for Teysa is a new card from Commander Legends, which is Thalisi Reverent Medium. It's the foil etched. As soon as I saw this card, I was immediately like, this has to go in Teysa. I just think this is such a great classic Orzhov card, and I feel like I'm kind of surprised that nothing like that card's ever been printed before, because it just truthfully, I feel like, is an Orzhov card, and I absolutely love it. I love the Orzhov color combination, like seriously, I love it. Anyways, that is it, guys, for my Commander 20... What? That is it for my wish list for 2021. That's not being said that I'm necessarily going to pick up all these cards. There's definitely some, like, the Commander ones that I mentioned, I'm definitely picking those up. But, some of the other stuff, you know, things just change and things happen and all that kind of stuff. But, yeah, I'd really like to know what, cards are on your wish list, for this year, if you're picking anything up. I know things are, like, really weird right now, so I totally get if people are not buying cards. It's so weird because I feel like I'm getting cards, but I'm like, no one is seeing your Commander decks, Tracy. Like, no one is seeing them. Like, they're not leaving. So, but so I set a budget aside every month. I should have said this at the beginning of the video, but here we are. I set aside a budget every month for cards, and you know, that's how much I get a month, and that's just like what I do, and this is just how I chip away at this wish list, which is honestly pretty insane. So I will be excited though once I go through and get these, especially the Commander Legends one, because that'll take off like a whole chunk, because that list is pretty hefty, and I'll get that, and then I'll be like at 4 pages, just trying to get to 3. That's the goal. But yeah, if you're interested to see what cards I get, I do post hauls every couple months where I chat about the cards that I do pick up. So a lot of these will be featured in there. But anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like it if you did, subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll catch you guys in my next one.